2025 at Disney World is gearing up to be epic. A word that I probably shouldn't use for copyright reasons. Sorry, Universal. Hi, I'm James from Guide to WDW, and in this 2025 Disney World Mega Preview, I'm sharing everything new and exciting that's coming to the parks this year. Plus, the things that you'll want to say goodbye to before they're gone forever. From the sweet to the bittersweet, by the end of this video, you'll learn what's new at Disney World, what's going away, dates for the most exciting events, and a crowd forecast so that you know when to go and when to avoid. Plus, you'll find out the two things that I'm most looking forward to that kinda have nothing to do with Disney. But let's start with what's shiny and new. There are 7 new attractions and experiences debuting this year, and they span all 4 parks. This summer, Magic Kingdom will light up the night with Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. Yes, Magic Kingdom is finally getting a new nighttime parade. And that's finally with a capital F, because Disney World's most popular park hasn't offered a nighttime parade since 2016. And as hard as it is to believe, Magic Kingdom hasn't debuted a completely new nighttime parade since Spectrum Magic in 1991. The same year that Darkwing Duck came out, and Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Dinosaurs, Doug, Home Improvement. Man, 1991 was a banger year for my childhood. Anyway, let's flash forward 34 years to Disney's Starlight, which will use the latest technology to let you see characters from Peter Pan, Encanto, and Moana, and more in a whole new light. Considering that this will debut 10 years after Disneyland's dazzling Paint the Night parade, my expectations couldn't be bigger or brighter. Then later in 2025, you'll finally be able to say "Drink up me hearties yo-ho" while sipping on a signature pirate cocktail in Adventureland's new Pirates of the Caribbean themed tavern. Bars based on attractions seem to be a mini trend for 2025, although there's no word on if Disney has plans to bring the incredible Haunted Mansion parlor from the Disney Treasure cruise ship to the parks. Instead, let's jump on the monorail over to Epcot for the other attraction-themed lounge. This one based on Spaceship Earth, where you can have a glass of wine, watch the fireworks, and thank the Venetians in style. That will open in late spring. Then in late summer, the highly anticipated Test Track 3.0 opens with a brand new storyline and updated look for the ride vehicles. Buckle up for an entirely reimagined ride experience that takes cues from World of Motion. At Hollywood Studios, there's no business like show business because we have 2 shows debuting this summer. Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, a wickedly fun stage show featuring all of your favorite baddies, will take over the old Lightning McQueen Theater over by Rock and Roller Coaster. And after years of being dark, The Little Mermaid musical is returning with refreshed sets, new effects, and a revitalized version of the classic show. At Animal Kingdom, the Tree of Life Theater is getting a new 4D show for the first time since the park opened. Zootopia Better Zoogether will feature all of your favorite anthropomorphic pals, including Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. Finally, at the resorts, Polynesian Village Resort just opened its stunning new island tower in December 2024. So technically it's not new for 2025, but new enough. The beautiful new waterfront DVC addition to the Poly takes cues from the diverse cultures of the Polynesian islands. Everything here is luxurious, and comes with a luxurious price tag. And if you're staying at the Island Tower or any other Disney resort, you get a new perk this year. Free admission to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach on your check-in day. I personally am excited to take advantage of this water park perk because I've never been too keen on going into the theme parks on the day of check-in because I'm tired from all the travel. Free water park admission gives you something exciting to do at the start of your vacation, and I find the water parks to be a bit more of a laid-back experience than the theme parks. Also, since it's a bonus, if you can even squeeze in a couple of hours in the water park, it's worth it. The last noteworthy resort development is the return of the free dining promotion. If you book between now and February 10th, you can get a free dining plan with a non-discounted vacation package at Disney's resorts for stays starting between May 27th to June 26, 2025, or July 7th to August 6, 2025. You have to stay at least 3 nights and get at least a 3-day park hopper ticket. Guests at value and moderate resorts will get the quick service dining plan. That includes 2 quick service meals and 1 snack per night of your stay, plus a refillable mug. And if you stay at a deluxe resort, you'll get upgraded to the Disney dining plan. That changes one of those quick service meals to a table service meal. If you use the link in my description, you can work with a Disney specialist travel agent who can help you book the deal. Now, we've covered the new, but that also means we must say goodbye to some beloved attractions. Such is the circle of theme park life, and 2025 has a lot of closures. Let's start with the refurbishments. These are attractions that aren't going away forever, but will be closed for an extended time for routine repair and possible changes or updates. At Animal Kingdom, Cali River Rapids starts its seasonal closure on January 6th. At Epcot, Grand Fiesta Tour will be closed from January 6th until March 15th, which is a shame because it's one of my favorite short wait rides at Disney World. And at Magic Kingdom, Hall of Presidents will be closed from January 20th until later the year. Astro Orbiter will close from January 13th until the summer. And the biggest refurbishment on the docket, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, is closing January 6th for a year-long refurbishment and possible track replacement if the rumors are to be believed. The wildest ride in the wilderness will return in 2026. Those are all temporary closures, but this is your last call for the 7 rides and attractions that are set to shut down for how long?
Forever!
That's right. Let's start there at the huge changes coming to Hollywood Studios, with 2 classic attractions going away. Muppet Vision 3D is closing down as part of the new Monsters Inc. land taking over Muppet Courtyard. So that entire corner of the park will be shutting down for construction starting sometime in 2025. Also, as part of this, there's a huge shakeup on Sunset Boulevard as Rock and Roller Coaster will be rethemed to the Muppets. So the current Aerosmith version is on the chopping block. Now, specific closing dates aren't set yet, and we could see these changes come in phases, with the back part of Muppet Courtyard with Mama Melrose closing first. So it is possible that Muppet Vision and the Aerosmith version of Rock and Roller Coaster will survive until 2026, but these closures are on the horizon. My advice is just to do what I do. Live every day like it's your last time at Pizza Rizzo. Animal Kingdom also has a massive transformation that kicks off in 2025. First, to make room for the Zootopia show I mentioned earlier, It's Tough to Be a Bug will be taking its final bow. No word if Disney has to hire an exterminator for the Tree of Life Theater. Then Dinoland USA is being completely overhauled into a tropical America's land, with Encanto and Indiana Jones attractions. The land will close in phases, with Chester and Hester's Dinorama and Triceratops Spin closing on January 12th. However, Disney has said that you will have a chance to take your last ride aboard a time rover on Dinosaur through 2025, so that ride should survive its countdown to extinction until 2026. And at Magic Kingdom, we have a bit of uncertainty. Disney has already announced its plans to fill in the rivers of America to make way for the new Cars-themed Frontierland expansion, complete with a rally race ride. This would massively change an iconic section of the park and permanently remove Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell riverboat. However, Disney seems to be hitting a snag getting the permits approved for this transformation, which could either delay construction, which is slated to start in 2025, or force Disney to change their plans altogether. Still, I would make those 2 old-school attractions a priority before they possibly get paved over. So that's everything new and closing at Disney World. If you want to stay up to date on the latest with all these rides, plus get expert tips on how to make the most of your Disney World vacation, be sure to get subscribed to Guide to WDW because I have a lot of great Disney content coming in 2025. Now, when should you visit Disney World in 2025? There are 2 big things to know: the special events and the crowds. Let's start with the events. Here are some of the key dates that you'll want to know for this year. Epcot is expected to have 4 festivals again this year, with the Festival of the Arts running from January 16th through February 24th, and the Flower and Garden Festival will bloom March 5th through June 2nd. We don't have specific dates yet for Food and Wine, but I'd expect it to return late August and run through late November. And then Epcot Festival Holidays will take over, running from the end of November until the year wraps up. That would mean that, like 2024, we'll have Diet Epcot in June, July, and most of August, where there's no festival running. That can also mean lower crowds, as there are less locals visiting on the weekends to eat at the food booths and see the concerts. Disney World has 2 main holiday seasons. That's Halloween, which typically runs from early August until October 31st, or even November 1st on some years, with decorations mainly at Magic Kingdom, and Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party running on select nights. Then there's the Christmas and winter holiday season, which kicks off the first week of November. You'll start seeing decorations go up as soon as November 1st across the theme parks and resorts, and they'll stay up through the first week of 2026. During the season, Disney World has two holiday parties: Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom and Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios. Some other really important dates to know are the Run Disney events, because they can bring a spike in crowds. Here are this year's dates. The Walt Disney World Marathon runs January 8th through 12th. The Princess Half Marathon is February 20th through 24th. The Springtime Surprise is April 3rd through 6th, and the Wine and Dine Half Marathon is typically in late October or early November. Now, one of my favorite tips for going to Disney World and getting a ton of things done is to go to a Disney After Hours event. These hard-ticketed events are kind of like the holiday parties where you buy admission just for that part of the day. But the draw isn't the theming or the food. I mean, you do get free soda and snacks included, but the draw is the low crowds. Basically, everything in the park has no wait. You can go on Rise of the Resistance as many times as you want. It's also just a breath of fresh air to be in the parks at night with such low crowds. Now, it's not cheap. It costs more for a few hours in one park than the per-day cost of a regular park ticket. But you can very easily do every single attraction that's offered with no or little wait, and then some. It's a great way to experience the biggest rides a park has to offer, and the price is much more affordable than something like Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which only lets you do each Lightning Lane ride once per day. Disney After Hours will be offered on select dates at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios, which you can see on the screen right now. And I highly recommend purchasing a ticket for these in advance, since they can sell out. For the next important part of planning your 2025 trip, let's take a quick look at the crowd calendar. Now, overall, 2024 was a slower year for crowds, and Disney is expecting softer demand throughout 2025, partially due to, I think, a combination of rising prices, the tourism market cooling off overall after the post-2020 spike, and economic uncertainty. So crowds should be lower on average across the board. Now, certain weeks will still be much more crowded than others. I have other videos that break down the specific best and worst weeks at Disney World, but here's my general prediction. In 2025, I'm expecting Disney World will be most crowded early January, late February, early March thanks to Mardi Gras landing on March 4th, and the crowds will keep rolling spring break season basically through Easter, which is April 20th this year. Then the crowds will be heaviest again mid-October, late November, and late December due to various holidays. Crowds will be the lightest in August and September, although that will be the hottest. And I think this summer will be particularly less crowded at Disney World, specifically May, June, and July. For one, summer has been pretty light over the last couple of years. And if you remember that free dining promotion, it covered most weeks of summer vacation, which tells me that Disney is anticipating that attendance may be low once again. Now, why could that be? That brings me to my first big non-Disney thing that I'm excited for in 2025. Universal's new theme park, Epic Universe, which opens on May 22nd. This is a big deal. We haven't gotten a full-blown new theme park in the United States from Universal or Disney since California Adventure opened in 2001. Before that, Islands of Adventure opened in 1999 and Animal Kingdom opened in 1998. So it's been a long drought with no new major gates from these companies. But all that changes this May when Epic Universe opens, with Celestial Park acting as a hub to 4 major lands: Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon, the Ministry of Magic from Harry Potter, Dark Universe featuring the classic Universal monsters, and Super Nintendo World. So far, the previews have looked incredible. I'm especially excited for Dark Universe, but I also think that this could have a major effect on crowd patterns at Disney World. There's a theory that Universal's new park opening will drive more interest in tourism to Orlando in general, so Disney might benefit too. Like those extra guests going to see Epic Universe will decide to go to Disney too. But over the years, Universal has made their Orlando resort a really compelling destination, and Epic Universe could be enough to convince guests to just spend their entire vacation at Universal's properties. Or a guest who used to spend most of the week at Disney World and a day or two at Universal may decide to flip that around this year, and spend most of their time at Epic Universe. We'll see, but being able to visit a brand new theme park in Orlando and the possibility of high-end competition has me very excited. And Disney is already punching back. Yes, Universal has Mario, Hermione, and Dracula, but they are no match for a little blue healer from Australia. That brings me to the second thing I'm most excited for in 2025. Bluey is coming to Disney World. Now, this is technically another non-Disney thing, because even though Bluey is a massive hit on Disney Junior and Disney Plus, Bluey actually isn't a Disney property. The rights are owned by BBC and Ludo Studios. But Disney just announced a new deal that strengthens the relationship between Bluey and Disney. Disney will distribute the upcoming Bluey movie that's coming out in 2027, and the Healer family is coming to Disney parks and cruises. First, starting in January this year, Bluey and Bingo will debut on Disney cruises sailing from Australia and New Zealand. Guests on the cruise can enjoy meet and greets plus an interactive clue-filled game that ends in a dance party. Dance mode activated. Disneyland and Disney World will also get in on the fun with Healer family meet and greets, but we don't know exactly when. Presumably sometime in 2025. Disney will announce the details in the coming months. Bluey is just a delightful show, so I'm all for Disney bringing them to the parks, and it will finally give me a chance to meet my role model and spirit animal, Bandit Healer. That's all for now for this mega preview of 2025, but I'm sure there will be tons of fun surprises on the horizon. If you're visiting Disney World this year, let me know what types of videos you'd like to see, because I'm currently putting together one of my most requested videos ever, so stay tuned. This has been James from Guide to WDW. Thanks for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll see you real soon.